I'd like to ask a show of hands. How many of you, please raise your hand if you feel as if your business is such a well-oiled machine that the notion of saving time and doing things a little bit more productively is just boring and not pertinent to you? Really? Outstanding. Congratulations to Karen. I think Adam put his hand up. So I'm going to spend some time today, I believe, filling a need. We all need to operate more efficiently, and especially on this grow side of what we do. We spend a lot of time focusing on how to attract leads and how to engage prospects and build business and increase sales, and probably a little less time than we should, certainly a little less time we should, on focusing on the cost side of that equation. Are we getting those new leads? Are we operating our business as efficiently and as productively as we possibly can? Because your profit equation, of course, is revenue in minus cost out, minus dollars out, and your time is a cost. And so to the extent that you can improve and automate key marketing tasks as you grow your business, you're going to be more profitable. You're probably going to be much more happy. So we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about that today. Some of the examples that I'm going to cite are, actually the first three, are going to be related to how you build your list, how you grow your email list. This is not all about email marketing, but I want to talk for just a moment about why it's so important, why growing your email list is so important. Number one, simply, the larger your email list and the more your email marketing, the more you will grow your business. 95% of internet users check their email every single day. You're among them. 90% of people who have email accounts say that they check their email compulsively, multiple times a day. And in the survey I'm citing, you're among them, right? Yeah? And how many of you have checked your email since you got here? Excellent. And among those in the survey I've just cited, 8% said they will check their email after they have sex. So, sorry to create that image for you. But the reason that's so important to emphasize is this is where people, prospects, customers, the people you want to reach, are looking. Yes, they're looking at Google. Yes, they're on social media. But my goodness, they are checking their inboxes. And if you're not there, you're missing opportunity. So we're going to dive right in and talk about a few examples of how to automate things, including list building. And I'm going to start by telling you about something I began to do following networking events. And any time that I met somebody at an event who runs a business and whom I thought could benefit from the information that we send out, business building information, email newsletters, I would meet someone like Kurt at an event and say, Kurt, great talking to you. I'd send an email to them after a networking event. Great meeting you at the E4E event. Would it be okay if I add you to my email list? Simple email request like that. Would it be okay if I put you on the email list? By the way, when you go to a networking event and you collect a card, not okay to just say, I have a card, I have an email, they're on the list. Ask. So Kurt and I went through this exercise earlier, and I'm going to just show you what happened. I sent an email to Kurt. Bear with me here for 1 second. And that email said, it was great meeting you at the event. Sorry, you can't read that very well. Would it be okay if I put you on the mailing list? We send out a twice monthly newsletter, has marketing tips. You can opt out at any time. Just a little PS at the end of a great meeting you at this event. Let's have a cup of coffee down the road. And Kurt wrote, sure, that would be great. I'd be happy to be added to your list. This is my Gmail account that you see up on the screen. I'm not sure if we got out of focus or not. Sorry. That's better, isn't it? Good. So I had a meeting with the sales representatives at MarketVolt where I said, I'm doing this. A lot of people are saying yes. I suggest that you methodically reach out to people whom you're connecting with. You're talking to them by email. Why not ask to put them on the list? You probably can get, over the course of the next 3 months, another 250, 500 people on the list. You're making that much contact with people. And the sales rep in the meeting said, I love the idea, Tom. One of them said, I love the idea, but the fact of the matter is it's a pain. When I get that email back from somebody who says yes, I then have to pull that email, I then have to copy it, I then have to open up the email marketing software, add that person's name to the list, copy it, check the box that said they opted in, do all that stuff. How many of you are kind of relating to this idea? Yeah, I get cards, I get lists, I get names, but getting those people into my email marketing system is kind of a pain. So I said, okay, and we applied some very low-cost tools to Gmail and MarketVolt that has this capability. And here's how it works. Oops. We have a slow internet connection. Let's see here, please. I'm going to just show you the slide that demonstrates the same idea. You get an email, and right here is, sure, I'd love to be on the list. Then you mouse over that person's name in Gmail, and Outlook has similar capabilities. Up comes the contact information for that person, and in MarketVolt or in Outlook, or excuse me, in Gmail or in Outlook, there's a way to tag people, okay? And I've created a very simple tag, pardon me, I've created a simple tag called MarketVolt opt-in. And if the internet connection were better, with the email I had from Kurt, I would have moused over Kurt's name, his contact information would have come up, and in 5 seconds I would have checked a box that said MarketVolt opt-in. I would have been done. His contact information would move from Gmail to the email marketing system, and a follow-up email that sits in the email marketing system would say, within an hour, Dear Kurt, great, I'm so glad you said it would be okay. Here's an example of some of the stuff that we have, and I'm done. Our sales reps have begun to do that because it is easy and automated, and as a result, the list of people with whom we communicate and share marketing ideas has grown significantly in the months since we began that, and sales have followed. Just one example. Another example, John Ayers, one of our E4E partners, is a terrific teleprospector. He runs a teleprospecting firm, and for those of you who believe that so-called old school marketing, direct mail or teleprospecting or so forth, is dead, think again. It still works when done properly, and one of the proper techniques, and we've done campaigns with John, is if your primary call to action is setting a meeting or some outcome like that, you can have that backup call to action. No, you're not interested or not yet. Well, would it be okay if we send to you something, a free report, subject line tips, something like that by email? The notion here is you're looking for the yeses when you're marketing, the people who say, yeah, I want to have a sales conversation and have a meeting, but there's a whole spectrum of maybes. And if there's no call to action to capture the maybes, can I get your email and send something to you, then you're missing an enormous opportunity. So we devise those strategies when we work with clients, teleprospecting to list building, and this is what it might look like. Here on my screen is a spreadsheet, and this looks very much like the spreadsheet that John's call team might use when working a list and doing teleprospecting. The names, the company, the phone number, and then email address, call date, notes, and so forth is blank. The callers are going down the list, and they're filling in the blanks as they go. Pardon me. When we've done campaigns in the past with John, what happens is at the end, the note at the end of a day or at the end of a week, his team might email me a list like this. Here are the call dates, here are the notes, and over here, send ebook, yes or no, would just be a spreadsheet that they would send to us, and then we would have to take that spreadsheet, filter out the people who said yes, send them a thing, and it's now perhaps many hours after or even many days after those calls were made that we are loading those maybes and opt-ins into our system. This, what we're looking at right now, is a Google spreadsheet, an online spreadsheet. And the teleprospector can dive right in, and when Fred Flintstone at Bedrock Quarry says, yes, I want the book, he can type yes in the field. The Google spreadsheet connected to the email system. Fred is loaded in the email system. Fred gets a follow-up email with the tips within an hour of hanging up the phone. Completely automated. Let's move on to a couple of additional examples. This is a landing page. We have a webinar series called 5 in 25, 5 marketing tips delivered in 25 minutes. And we run that webinar series through GoToWebinar, GoToMeeting, GoToWebinar. Many of you have used systems like that. So what's the challenge? First of all, GoToWebinar and GoToMeeting's sign-up form that's kind of built into the system is ugly and not very flexible. So we use a third-party landing page system, or we could do this on WordPress and build our own, but we use a system called Unbounce, a very powerful, good landing page system that does A/B split testing and all sorts of cool things. And we have used the same integrations and same systems to connect this landing page when somebody signs up, first name, last name, email address. Their information goes simultaneously to GoToWebinar, so the person is registered for the event and gets an immediate follow-up email with the login instructions. And then when it hits GoToWebinar, the same integration systems send the information to MarketVolt, to our email marketing system, so that there's no moving of lists, just systems all talking to each other. Another example, our CRM, our customer relationship system that we use at MarketVolt is called Zoho. Using the same tools, if we add a lead to Zoho, the lead ends up in our email system. If something happens in the email system, the information goes back to Zoho. A lot of you have probably heard of marketing automation systems, and a lot of you may be using marketing automation systems. And the selling point for those systems is the idea that everything is contained in a box. It's CRM and landing pages and email marketing all in one, and it costs $100 or more per month for that nice, tightly woven package. The issue is that many of you might want to use a different CRM or a better email marketing system or better landing pages. And the beauty is that today, with very, very inexpensive tools, there are ways for you to connect one system to another, to another, to another, to another, without having to put yourself in the $100 or plus a month box. A couple of more examples. Basecamp, a really great project management system. We use it here at E4E to manage projects. If you put a task in Basecamp, my challenge when Steve puts tasks in Basecamp for us at E4E, I don't log into Basecamp all that often, and these things hit my email and I kind of lose track of them. But I use a system called ToodleDo for task management, really cool, free, online to-do list system. So what I have set up is that if in my Basecamp account, Steve posts a task for me, it automatically ports to my task list in ToodleDo. We have a system of content marketing at MarketVolt where we blog and we share stuff, and we have a collective group of people at MarketVolt who are sharing links using online bookmarking on Delicious. Online bookmarking on Delicious. When somebody shares a link on Delicious in our company and puts a tag on it called MV Curate, content that we want to curate, it automatically ends up on our project management list and personally on my task list, so I know time to write a blog post or a social media post about that web page that somebody else in my office found. Completely automated. So how's it done? This is the secret. There are 3 tools that you should look at. One is called Zapier, Z-A-P-I-E-R, Zapier.com. One is called If This Then That, IFTTT. And the third, which is probably less pertinent, but it's out there, is called It Does It. What these tools do is allow you to connect multiple applications to one another. Now, some of them are free. If this, then that is really cool. You can do things like set up recipes. They call them recipes. If it's going to rain, text me so I can bring an umbrella to the car. Zapier is the one that connects all of the applications that I was showing. And MarketVolt is part of Zapier, part of the Zapier network. Other tools are part of the Zapier network. I'm out of time, so I can tell you all of this another time later, but the key thing is with a tool like Zapier, now all of a sudden all of the activities from event management to social media management to bookmark management to CRM can talk to one another so that you can do marketing automation, save time, save money on a dime. Questions? Do I have time for questions? Great. Questions? Wow, speechless? Oh, hi, Karen.
The Zapier, when does it run approximately come out?
Pardon me?
Zapier.
So Zapier has a free version, and the way the free version works, so you set up connections between applications that are called zaps, and then there are tasks. So every time the thing happens that you've set up, every time I check the box in Google Contacts, that produces a task underneath the Zap, connect my Google Contacts to my email marketing system. So the free version has a limit on the number of Zaps you can set up, I think 5 perhaps, and a limit on the number of tasks that can run a month, I think at 100 or something like that. And some of the applications that are connected to Zapier require you to have the paid version in order to play. The next version up, I think, is $15 a month. And with each level up, you are getting more zaps and more tasks per month. We have clients who are doing it with e-commerce. When something happens in the e-commerce engine, move them into a task list or move them in, they're automating fulfillment, doing all sorts of cool things. It's a fabulous deal. One thing I'll note is that we have recently put MarketVolt into Zapier. So when you go into Zapier and look at the list of available systems, you won't find us. But if you are a MarketVolt client or interested in being a MarketVolt client, we can send you an invitation to connect MarketVolt into Zapier very, very easily. Dale.
Yeah, in your example, you were using your Gmail account. Do you have to use a Gmail account, or can you use your private?
So if you have Outlook on Microsoft Exchange, a Microsoft Exchange server, or other email clients, you can do it that way. So I think if you are using Outlook on Exchange and you move an email to a folder, it accomplishes the same idea.
Because I use a Mac, so.
Yeah, I think Apple Mail is connected in. Not everything is connected, so it depends. It depends on what you use. We have time maybe for 1 or 2 more questions. Yeah.
First, I just want to comment that it's absolutely amazing to know how much you really can automate. Really opened my eyes to that.
Mm-hmm.
But a question I had was, with these different tools, are they fairly self-explanatory and easy to follow and set up, or for someone who's not real into that, would you need to bring in an expert to help you?
So IFTTT is especially simple to use. I mean, it's wizard-driven, and Kurt's nodding. Zapier, ever so slightly more complicated, but generally it's designed for non-technical people. You don't have to be a programmer. You don't have to write any code. But when we've set up clients to do it, connecting to MarketVolt, we typically will help walk them through the initial setup to get everything going. But it takes a minute to set up a Zap. No programming. I think we're out of time. So I thank you very, very much for your attention. I'll be around, of course. So.